good day for me, a good day to see, good day to be my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers, see them like no others on my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers, they see them like no other. Oh, my favorite color.
Yes! Bam! Back again for the Rocky Outcrop show. My name's Rocky Outcrop. I do very much appreciate every single last one of you for joining me. Insanely lots of appreciation here, mega amounts, given that the last stream just El Broco like the Joko it is-o. So if I just do this and then do this, I can say, welcome back to the show. My name's Rocky Outcrop. We're talking about technical analysis here on the show. Coming back up to about 45 minutes after the hour now here, I suppose. Actually, a bit later than that. Coming up to 50 minutes after the hour. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your morning. And yeah, let's rock and roll. Good day for me, good day to see, good day to be my favorite color. Right, so that was Bert, and I'll probably publish that clip as a clip. It was pretty nifty, I have to say. Anyway, jump back over to the GME. Thank you all for all your support so far, buys the ways, and I will of course be very, 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 very grateful for anybody that hits the like button after having had that abortive start to the day. So GME over here, just below, as we pop back over to the chart there, the 4-hour 20-period simple moving average. That is what forms the basis line, the middle line of the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands are there on the screen right there. So, ba-dum-bum-ba-ba-da-bum. That there is below the Bollinger Band basis line. This line, is the 20-period simple moving average, and these 2 points are standard deviation 2 away from that line. And we have the lower line of the Bullywolly Schmollywolly band coming in down there. If we were to push down to it, that'd be that 151 area. That's what's tying together with the lower end of that funny Ichimoku cloud thing. I don't want to see us missing that turnoff on the highway to success for the 155 turnaround. So, of course, as we're looking at this at pre-market at 154.10, I kind of want to see this pulling back up the way. Now, if we actually do start with a tiny gap down below 154, it means that we are having an open that's down there, and it makes it look like we've got a lower low. So I also don't want to see that, although I'm very much not a big fan of opens that are defining lows or opens that define tops necessarily. I don't really like that. So it is something which I actually put down to kind of the pre-market sessions. So like instead you're looking at the differences between the highs and the lows throughout the pre-market sessions, etc. And it kind of complicates everything, and it's a bit of a mess that way. Can I put it on the 1 hour time frame and maybe see then what that would look like? Will it load up? Yeah. So then in that sense, where's the last low? I can't even remember. Was that actually down there? No, that was the 144 one. I mean over here at 155. Yeah, because we never actually opened down there, didn't trade down there. But then the extended hours are taking us down. So it's like this is a off-piste. It's off-piste, you know. So so I don't like to include that. It's what I'm really trying to say is that if you're going to look at it like that, then it's like you're looking at a broader market, really, a different thing, and you're thinking about things differently. But it's super low liquidity and it's easily to be manipulated. What are we doing over here? Is everything working well? Just see, I'm here. Yo, man, just waiting. Is everybody working? Is it not? Don't tell me this isn't streaming. Is this not streaming? Oh my goodness. Let me just see. Is this streaming? Good. Need to find some other internet solution. Yes. Hello all. Love Ronaldo. Brilliant. That must have been working if you can say love Ronaldo. Lovely to see you out there, Katie Babes. Lovely to see you, Tradespotting. Lovely to see you, Darren Thompson. Lovely to see you, Christy Hutch. Alan, Sally Mander, Bad Mama Jama, Banana Fridge, Banana Fridge, and Alan Traub. That thing. Bit of fun, eh? But yo, whoop. Did that work? I have no idea if that worked or not. Might not have worked. I wonder if, do I need to open up that thing? I probably do need to open it up. Let me just see this thing here. I needed to open up this thing here so I could push my button and get something to happen, which would have been nifty. Like, for real, he just read chat there and doesn't see the messages. No, I did see the oh, it's top chat. I've got top chat on. Let me just go back up here. Didn't work for yourself. Yo, man. Nobody's writing at Rocky Outcrop. Nobody has so far in this entire stream, apart from maybe just there at the end. Rocky Outcrop, you're good for now. Oh, Rocky Outcrop, it's fine. Check BMJ donation. Ah, okay, cool. Thanks, nice one. It's working. No, it is. Yeah, great, cool. Everybody's dead happy out there. It's all working. You had said Rocky Outcrop. By the way, take that back. I'm sorry. I take it back. You had. It's just I was looking at Streamlabs chat, didn't see it in orange. Yes, you're good for now. Yeah, true. So where is this? Where is she? Bad Mama Jama donated $5. Just icy go to people stuff. No, that's cool. Mike Fitzpatrick, $4.99. If you have time, could you look at Spurt? Yeah, that's cool. Did I miss something? Was it in the last one? I not seeing it. Not seeing it here on Stream Labels or whatever. Not seeing it in the stream labels, yeah. So anyway, that's what we're talking about over there with regards to GameStop. Now, we've not actually looked at AMC yet today, so let's do that. We're at 36.62. Well, I said a couple of numbers yesterday in terms of like 36 and stuff like that, but it's right in there at that area, obviously. Now, the pre-markets are down there at 35.43. Everything a little bit kind of dull at the start of the pre-markets here, coming up to 2 o'clock. So we've got 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes before markets open. They're all telling you to check donations. Yeah, man. Bad Mama, you're what? $5? It's not come up on stream labels. No, let me just. That can't be true. That can't be true. So it's not true. It's not true. Don't be silly. Yes, you missed it. It was in the last one. My jeepers creep. Right, let's just read this here. I see it now, Bad Mama Jama. Man, Justin, mate. Honestly. I love you, man. Great talks. Makes me feel good. And you get a chance. I sent you some duties to check in Discord. Man. Bad Mama Jama, you're a really kind guy. Really you are. You're genuinely kind and you're very generous, and I really do appreciate that. That's very, 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 very amazing of you. I absolutely appreciate that so much. I can see it comes up there saying donated as well, so you did that without the sort of the YouTube tax on top as well. That's really amazing. Man, that's really amazing. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. That's really amazing. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. How you doing, man? Do you want to chat? We can just chill and chat here for a minute. Thanks very much, man. Chatting to you last night in the thing. It's up until like 4, laughing away in the Discord, having a good time in the chit chat with you, myself, D Harker, a Slug. Who else was there as well? Brian Hoddle, maybe? I'm not too sure. And that it was really great, man. You're a great guy. I really do appreciate it. I enjoyed that last night. You know, it's really cool. Thanks so much, man. Thanks very much. And yeah, you know, if you ever want to come on, I mean, we were sat there laughing last night, all of us laughing about different stuff and enjoying doing technical analysis together. And it's cool, you know, just 3 people from 3 different parts of the world all chatting at the same time about the same stock or whatever, and enjoying it together. And I really do appreciate it, man. It's really do. That's really awesome of you. Thanks for all the education, says Justin Ozerman. Justin, man, I mean, that's another Justin out there. Justin's a good people, eh? Thanks so much for that one as well. I'm with my son at Walmart. He's going and I'm watching you all. Ah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Well, I saw Walmart was in the news actually as well. Walmart. What was the news with regards to Walmart there? We're going to be talking about the rest of the news here in 5 minutes, so I might as well just bring it up here and see. There was something in the news with regards to Walmart. Walmart's always in the news, though, isn't it? It's like they've got PR people. What was it they were saying about it? What were they saying about it? It doesn't matter. I'm not seeing it up here on the Yahoo Finance. My main source for news. Yeah. So, cool, man. I hate Walmart, though. Do you like Walmart? When I was shopping in Walmart, every time I hated it. I like go to Farmer Joe's. I mean, obviously you can't get everything you want, but it's like, gosh, it's horrible. AB Lopez, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us here. Dober Mamba, lol, Brian Hoddle. Miss you, bud. Damien Shivers. Can you advise me to use for UK to trade in options? I only buy stocks at the minute on eToro and IB, mate, International Brokers. I can't actually advise you, though, because I'm not a financial advisor. That would just be a personal opinion of mine. Rocky Outcrop, how's your health been? It's been all right, you know. I've been eating a lot of probiotics, fruit. You can see you've got fruit here in the, during the show. I had a banana in yesterday's show as well, for example. Trying that sort of thing. I've cut smoking out as well, so I've got this here thingy here for me that's going to help my health as well. Standing up more, being more active, trying that sort of stuff, and also talking with other people like through email and stuff like that about health things and looking at diet and environmental factors and all sorts of stuff. So I'm really trying over here, so if I suddenly just pop one day, it won't be for lack of trying. I am not a cat, says woot woot. Try. Yeah, I know, but that actually meow. Corey in there. I got to chat with Bab Mama Jama my first weekend at Discord. Really nice guy. Yeah, he is. He is. He loves his family. He's a family man, as well. Really loves his son. He's out there with his son at the minute, so he's that type of guy. Brian Mullen, morning, afternoon, all. Good morning, afternoon, all to y'all as well. Good morning, afternoon, y'all to y'all as well. Banana Fridge chatting to Trade Spotting in there, asking a random question: does tapeworms and the fruit mean anything to you? Good morning, Amber. Nice to see you out there. I would probably say that tapeworms haven't got a massive correlation with the treasure worm, treasure hunt. I don't know. Emo Dog giving me a pat on the back for having chucked the fags. Thanks so much. Make him look cool for his kid somehow. How can we do that? How can we make him look cool for his kid? I mean, we're talking about a guy that kicks about with a mohawk wearing multicolored trousers whilst playing golf. We're talking about a guy that looks cool for his kid 24/7. That's what we're talking about over here. It's pretty hard to make Bad Mama Jamma look any more cool for his kid. But, suggestions welcome. We could try something out. Shake Your Booty says, great work on stopping smoking. If you need any advice, have any questions, I've been helping people give up for 20 years. Wow, that's quality, mate. I do. I need loads of advice. I need loads of advice, man. Just give it to me. Chuck me the advice in there. Shotgun the advice at me in the Discord or whatever, and I'll read through it and then tell you what I'd want more advice on. The thing about it is, for me as well, is that it's like you also just trying to find a balance for me, really, just trying to find a balance, because it's pretty difficult to go from a sort of a deficit to a health what's the opposite of a deficit again? Surplus. That middle line is probably going to be where all the inertia is or whatever. So I'm just trying to do stuff like that. So hope we can keep going. Yeah. So great, fantastic. Hello, can't wait for the casino to open. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, totally. It's always good fun when the casino opens, isn't it? Pre-market prices on AMC at the minute kicking about there at 35.50, putting in what would be actually a move down towards that lower end of the Bollinger Band here on the 1 hour time frame, coming in down as well towards where that 382 is and taking out that 236, but leaving a visible gap on the El Chartos over there, as they say in Spanish. And I don't know why I'm saying that joke today. It's for my own personal entertainment, if I'm honest. I like Spanish, and Spanish people, there's nothing in it. Actually, I don't know. I mean, sometimes when you're in Spain and you're trying to come up with things, you end up doing that exact thing, So, for example, the word for embarrassment in Spanish is vergüenza, right? As opposed to embarazado, which is funny because whenever I was over there and I got embarrassed for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, estoy muy embarazado, which of course means I am very pregnant in Spanish. Many mistakes can come from adding an O to the end of your English to try and speak Spanish. It doesn't work that way. Right. Anyway, let's go into El Chartos. Right. Oh, actually, no, it's 2 o'clock for me. That's cool. It's 9 o'clock for you. We're half an hour away from the markets opening. All them lazy stock brokers, traders, and all that stumbling into their offices right now with their Starbucks in hand being, yo, let's do this trading thing over there at NYSE. Unlike all the other people who have to get up early in the morning, these traders, tell you what, lying in bed all day. Anyway, they're just about to arrive there. You can imagine them parking up their Mercedes Benzes down there in their offices' car parks. And that's happening soon. So in the meantime, though, we're going to take out a bit of the news. News, you snooze, you lose. Let's read the news. And here we have this article which goes on about China aligning itself with the Taliban to try and exploit Afghanistan's rare earth minerals. Analyst warns. Interesting use of words here. I thought was kind of funny. What's the warning in terms of that? What's the warning exactly? They're warning us what? That China's going to have more minerals, or that China's going to, like, I don't know, enhance the military strength of the Taliban, etc. I don't know. I mean, we know that China doesn't like Muslims at all, allegedly. Apparently. I don't know. From news articles that I've read on the website, it's not my own personal opinion, this. It's just stuff that I've read on the internet, is to do with how they've got, like, perhaps these sorts of, like, maybe they have concentration camps, which have got Muslims in them, specifically. So, it's not like China is out there going, like, yeah, guys, we really like you. Rare earth minerals. What was that? That was, by the way, I'm still reeling in shock, by the way, from what? I want to donate this for 2 shares for a person in need. You can pick that person. A person in need. So you're giving me that money, Bad Mama Jama, to deliver on to somebody else who's in need. That's really kind of you, man. There's $314 that Bad Mama Jama just threw this direction. That's the price of 2 shares of GME. And he's talking about how I want to donate this for two shares for a person in need, and I can pick that person. That's really, really kind of you, man. I don't know. Yeah, Banana Fridge, you're right. I agree with you. Good Lord. BMJ is a fucking legend. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so news today for us is that we need to find out, in a way that's obviously somewhat discreet or whatever, who's in need, so we can give a donation out to people. And we'll do that, I suppose, perhaps through the Discord or something like that. It's really kind of you, man. So we'll figure that out. I'm going to have to, obviously, I'll try and figure that out, right? Try and figure that out. Or I could give it to somebody that's in need in my own life, maybe do that. Or locally or something like that. I don't know, man. I'll talk to you about that. It's really, really kind of you, man. Look how generous he is, and that. And I back you up with that. We'll do this. Rare earth minerals in Afghanistan are estimated to be worth anywhere between 1 and 3 trillion in 2020. Seeing the hearts coming in for Bad Mama Jam in the chat as well is very, very, very cool. $1 and $1 trillion and $3 trillion anywhere at the minute. So there's like a huge mineral deposits there, and that's of course extremely important for like modern technology and stuff like that, as well as just like the sort of the intrinsic value in terms of what they look like and their rarity. China has dominated the rare earth market globally and threatened to cut off supplies to the US during the trade war in 2019. So we already know about that too, and it really makes you wonder as well in terms of like, are these the things that Afghanistan has access to that America needs, and was that part of any sort of policy that might have been in place with regards to Western powers securing that part of territory in the world? And this brings me back now at this point to kind of bring up some of the, I mean, like I could go and read the article here, but we get it, right? We get it. What are the discussion points about this one? What are the discussion points on this one? It's a decent article in here by CNBC in terms of the depth that they go to here in this one. But there's a lot to be thinking about here, and I want to just bring up what Turnip said about it because it's totally good. So news time with Turnips. No coffee, have tea, that's fine. Humanitarian angle. So first off, you got to look at this thing and consider how the world can try and help provide for humanitarian harvesting of natural resources. Like if we're looking to harvest these things naturally, how can we do it in a humanitarian way? And we already know that all of the mines around the world in these poor countries are exploitative towards their workforce anyway. The Taliban suddenly came into control of a whole country, and in that chaos, civil rights doesn't really have any priority. It should be an international initiative to make sure that if any country is agreeing to exploit its minerals on behalf of the Taliban, to only do under strict humanitarian conditions where human rights and rights for women are preserved in the situation. Yes, yes, but we also know from what happened with, for instance, when ISIS took over, or ISIL, or whatever particular Daesh that you want to call them, took over the oil producing regions in the Middle East, that many countries just did in fact buy it from them. There was huge industry there for them, of course, with that. China, right? This next topic, what are the next few years going to bring for international stage regarding China? And it's been something that Trump really highlighted in terms of the States. Is it necessarily the narrative that we should be following with whatever he was talking about? Who knows? But it was a strong one that entered the psyche of a lot of people in the States, for example. But as well, we do need to consider it from a global point of view. Like what is such a massive deal, such a massive economy. Now, Turnips himself is really against war. And I am too. And it's kind of horrible to see the intervention that we ourselves have done, Western countries. And he specifically mentions a couple of them, like Syria and Afghanistan. And I couldn't agree more with you, man, especially the Yemen situation as well at the minute. Then, the next big talking point with this article from Turnips here, and I appreciate your participation in this news section, Turnips, a bit fun for us here just to have a sort of buddy on board for the news, is that reading this made Turnips wonder, right? Why are people in the US writing and talking about this now as if we weren't exploiting resources while we were there? Suddenly we're all concerned about others exploiting the Afghan people. It's like my person who starts losing a game suddenly starts blaming everyone else at the table for the things that they were doing wrong. And he mentions that how this has actually helped him lose a lot of games or win a lot of games of Risk. And it's an interesting one, that as well. Now, I don't want to put out any sort of like political messages or anything, but it's more to do with us as we receive the news and we think about things like, how do we think about it? And isn't it interesting? And has this been something? And maybe these minerals were sort of protected, or they weren't, but it doesn't feature in the news article. It's kind of like missing the story, as if that's the story, and especially when you combine it with that headline using the word warns. And then number 4, the natural resources point here, that they've been fought over since the beginning of civilization. It's interesting to think about what the rare earth elements that are most in demand in our modern economy, and what are the things that people will be looking for and fighting for next. I'm thinking things that they mentioned, like lithium, which is huge with the amount of batteries that are being made. Couldn't agree more with you, mate. But of course we know as well, and we have done for quite a while since the publication of Clash of Civilizations, that the next big war is going to be a water war as well. I think that's pretty. That's a big part. I mean, for instance, the Sudan war in so many ways could be described as being a water war as well. So, whoa, get your coffee if you haven't had coffee yet, by the way. Put the kettle on, boil it up. So, the other news that we come back to discuss again at the top of the next hour when it kicks around to 10 a.m. and we take our eyes off the charts, off the casino for a wee while, we'll be looking at the China tech route. So, moving away from necessarily talking about in the sort of the geopolitical aspects and looking instead at sort of China's internal legislative body there, putting in rules that might actually hinder the economic success of their I don't know. I mean, in the long run, legislation generally has good impact. We'll come back around to talk about Robinhood, asking if you've ever traded crypto on Robinhood, and all that sort of stuff. And then we can talk about these other articles that we've got. And I'm looking forward, of course, to discussing this one, which we'll do at 10 a.m. your time. 3 p.m. my time and talk about kind of what happened there with regards to the lady and the Alexa. So here we have the charts currently back up again there. We're sitting at 10 past the hour, 10 after. I'm going to spend a minute catching up with chat there. Turnips, way hey, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for news time, Rocky Outcrop. Thanks for news time to you too, Turnips, man. That was an interesting one. So, by the way, if anybody else wants to do anything similar to that, of course we can. Just hook me up in the Discord and we'll talk about news, and we can have you as like a news guy. A Bad Mama Jamma NFT, yeah, totally. What totally. TradeSpot, yo, what you thinking, says H. Jones there. I wonder what you're chatting about. What you thinking, what you thinking. That's a comment that's out of context. Listening and working today. Way, that's quality. Daniel Lesage, I found this artist who builds historical efforts of key figures through history, and let me just say, we should be calling him Alexander the Gorgeous. Woo! That's funny. That's cool. Well, yeah. 10 past 2, and we are ready to go. 10 past 10 for y'all in the States. It's the reverse cowboy time, of course. 10 to 10 to 10 past 10, 10 to 10 to 10 past 10. 10 to 10 to 10 past 10. Hey, charties. Right, so I'm going to make a couple of clips for the old YouTube doobles, if this will actually let me. Quick look at the BB and AHT. Right, quick look at BB and AHT coming up in 5 minutes. I'm going to try and see if I can make a 5-minute crypto sort of for us, for our crypto friends back home. Let me see if I can actually do this then this way, starting off with with me up full screen, and then we'll just dive on into it. Hi friends, looking at cryptocurrency right here, right now. My name's Rocky Outcrop. Hitting the like button is always appreciated, by the way. Crypto, wouldn't you know, it's got a lot to go. Down there at 44,000 at the minute on Bitcoin. Are we looking up at the minute? Are we looking up? Have we done enough to turn it around? I think we've got some really exciting stuff coming up, so we're going to talk about that. Pow! Hit the button. Yeah, right. This is my intro screen. Hitting the like button now is advised by like button professionals around the world. And back in the charts. Right, so let's just bring up Bitcoin USDT chart here. It's BTC USDT. The reason I've got the T on the end is because it's USD Tether, and I'm looking at it on the Binance chart. That's just where I'm looking at it. It doesn't really matter. All the charts are mostly the same. You can see that we're actually kind of trending towards the downside here, stuck below the Bollinger Bands. When I said exciting, well, I kind of meant well, this is the realities of what we're looking at here more than anything. Now, the question is going to be, at the minute, are we putting in a lower low than over here? And that's what those two arrows were kind of getting at that I had on the charts yesterday. And we can see, if I take out the horizontal, just the horizontal line, just 1 second and I'll get one. That's the horizontal line. And I pop it on where those bodies are, that actually we didn't manage to take that out. So there we have our short-term pivot. You can see the Bollinger Band as well, kicking up around there on the 1 hour time frame. That's 43,923. Oh, that's such a close number to 44,000. 4 discounts on this thing here. So closures of an hour, maybe that hour is a bit too tight, but 4 and then not recovering, that sort of thing. Below this here, we're going to be talking about the movements down towards 43, etc. But actually, at this stage, then it becomes a question of how far can we go? We've obviously done the 100% retrace from the low to that high in terms of the movement down the way. So one way that you could look at this would be as if you were going for the sort of the 1618 movement, which would take you all the way down to that 41k area. 41k brings us down to that red line that we were talking about at 42, etc. So that would be where you'd be looking at. And that's what I'm talking about in terms of discounts. Now, it's not a full 10% necessarily there, but it's in and amongst it. $700 away from that pivot point. Now, if we do that means that, in terms of managing your risk, it's not a huge percentage move away from there, so that's cool. Makes it easy enough, and right now we're challenging the top end of the Bollinger Band. If you wanted to take a punt off the back of this going long right now, which you totally could, then you'd be looking to take profits in there, and it's going to be no surprise, but it's 45,500, maybe 45,400 or so, just to pay yourself to keep it so that you're going. I'm not a financial advisor, by the way. That sounds an awful lot like financial advice, but that's what you'd be doing, and then your next target in mind is going to be 46,500. If we actually do close up above 46,500, really, for me, and take out that little area where those two green lines are, just there, then what we're looking for is did I get that right? Those lines there. Yes, those lines. That what we're looking to would be, taking out that 46,500 area. We're breaking the previous high. We could put in a higher low perhaps at that stage and continue on up the way, finding support perhaps at the 45,500 and then rallying up the way. That's what I'm looking to overall. If we do actually shoot past it, then 47. Until we're back up above those times, then we're doing that inflection that we always knew that we would be doing. And the broader term picture, if I just hide everything off here, including the Bollinger Bands, would be showing you that you've got this overall kind of potential top for us. With what could end up happening would be that if you didn't take out 47,000, you'd have a left shoulder. Let me draw this. You'd have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Pop this up to the 4-hour time frame so it looks a bit clearer, and that would just be a head and shoulders top in that region. And of course, you'll be looking at the range there. That range is significant, 48k down to 43k, so a $5,000 move from that there at 43 all the way down, take you down to those same targets that we were talking about before, obviously, and beyond. And you'd be looking down to 39k, as you can see with that big old arrow that I'd drawn in there conveniently yesterday. Sweet. So that's where we are, and that's Bitcoin technical analysis summary. Obviously, there are other things that I look at in the markets as well, but if you want me to look at them, then you're going to have to join in on a live stream and ask me to do that right now, because that's this show done. If you hit the like button, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate all y'all for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Right, cool. Maybe I'll publish that at some point today. So, how's everybody getting on in there? Nice one. Yous are getting on well. Rocky, what are we going to do for Bad Mama Jamma? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard for me to think. I know. It's hard for me to think. But anyway, we're going to take a look at BB and AHT here for the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. Of course, man. We spend all day looking at it. Can you bring up the pics I sent you on the crypto in your Discord messages? Can you bring up pics I sent you on crypto in your Discord messages? Yes, I can, but I'm going to navigate. I'm going to take that off the thing just for now, so I don't do any sort of privacy breaches as I navigate around here. Wait a minute. Let's just see crypto. Where was that crypto? Are you in there chatting right now? No, that's somebody else. So you're talking about the ones you sent me directly. Yeah. What have we got here? What's that? Ethereum, right? It's Ethereum, Bad Mama Jamma, and Bitcoin. So what we got here? Ashford, that's those ones. Right, now, yeah, cool. Totally will in 2 secondos. Unless you want to look at them first, but I'll pop this back up here. So there we have that for us, right? So, cool. What did I say there? BB, just real quick. Let's take a look at BB. We were talking about this last night as well in El Discordo. This is the stuff that I've had drawn on the charts for a wee while. Here, as you can see with this one, I've got a few little sort of facets that I've been talking about with regards to the recent price action. Now, it's got a big, looks like a little big spider web around the price action. I'm just going to push the button here. Let me just get over to this one, by the way. I'm aware that I'm not on the chart. So, what we have... by the way, it took me like 4 hours last night to program that button I pushed there to get rid of the background. Like a lot. Like had to go and do a lot of stuff. Crazy. If you go search for how to do what I did last night on the internet, all you find is thousands of people complaining about not being able to do it, and I did it. Yeah. So anyway, this is the price action with BB, and there's a big triangle around it right now, and this is this big kind of load of this load of crap around it is me showing where fake out territory would be on this one. So and then you've got fake out territory around it in that junk area, right? So anyway, the point here is that we have done enough in terms of this one. In terms of all that, done enough and made it right back up to the middle zone, but we haven't, to kind of prevent the immediate cascade out of this thing and say that the triangle that we were considering is going to have the full measured move. We've done enough there. We retrace back up the way and come up towards the cloud here in the 4-hour time frame. But and I'll check those messages in a minute. Thanks very much for that. So and we're at the cloud here, and this is one of the reasons, by the way, Bad Mama Jamma and everybody else, that I like using the normal cloud. I like the jaggedy edges and stuff because it does do a decent job. It's a decent job of showing us where the resistance would be, etc. And you can see that they're looking lovely on the 4-hour time frame with regards to that one. But we did put in a lower low, right? So then bringing up these charts here, the oscillators down below, we can see that from our previous low, which was here, that this low here is obviously divergent. So for me, looking at this, and it's not the case on the MACD, whatever, but it is on the accumulation distribution. And what I'm looking at for this here to happen is for this to actually get some sort of benefit off the back of that. And I'm looking to see, can we challenge the cloud? Now, if we did go on again for another low, I'd be looking to see if we can put in a higher low at this stage, even though we've come in and put in a I would be looking for that, right? But we could imagine the prices. I can imagine the prices today during trading dropping down to the sort of the 975 area, etc., and then kicking about here before pushing on up the way. But I do want to see this. The targets for us on BB are $14, like you said, Bad Mama. But I am looking as well here at that $11 region. If we do click up into the cloud here, then I would be looking towards that top end of that and saying, look, movements up to this area are likely to be sold into, at least in the short term, by some people, including myself, if I was trading that at that time, because I'd be looking to pay myself against the risk of it just descending back down the way there. If we see a wick on a time frame such as this one, where of course you start off, you're looking at it, say it's 2 p.m. your time, and you're like, oh, it looks great, then you get to the end of trading and it's sunk back down, not putting in a higher high and breaking that sort of area over there. So I'd be looking out for that. If that were to happen today on this one, the ever diminishing volume shows us that there isn't the continued downward sort of spiral of momentum for us on this one, and it's looking pretty good. We've got 9 minutes to go until the markets open up, and I will be coming back around Bad Mama Jamma and looking at what you sent me on the Discord privately. But just now here, what we're talking about is the AHT. Now again, this is a stock that Bad Mama Jamma and I both quite like. Now we know it's incredibly risky. Last night D Harker summed it up pretty well by saying that it's pretty scary at these points, and it's scary. This is one of these moments when you're sailing absolutely in that horrendous weather, and that analogy that I used to like to talk about from time to time, and we're coming in for those lower lows, but what we've got here are a couple of things, a red little label on the earnings symbol thing just here showing us like it's also disappointing, but we know, having looked at this in advance, that the earnings back here were much worse, even though that was a surprise, and then over there they were really awful, even though it was also a huge surprise at that time as well. So really, these surprises that are coming in are really making the longevity of the company extend on further on. So if we think about this in terms of like on the way down here, the analysts were saying their earnings are going to be so bad they're going to go completely bust. Then we see that they didn't, and that they were way better than they thought they'd be overall. Way better. Way better than they thought they would be. It's by 60, big chunk. And then over here, again, way better than they thought. That's when things were worse than they are now. And things are a lot better. Now over here, oh, boo-hoo, but it's dramatically turned around in the fortunes. Now there are monies in the bankies for this company. So I do feel like it's not a going busty one. And that there could be some sort of, manipulation, but it's not manipulation, it's just a big account accumulation phase happening in this region. There was a stock split over there. It brought in the retail enthusiasm, which is great, allowing whoever it was that was doing the sort of the operation of the stock at the time to free up some capital for themselves, popping it back down here, and then allowing for an accumulation play by pushing this down and selling into that enthusiasm. I'm really looking forward to certain things, like if we can take out that gap right here. For me right now though, what I want to see with all my favorite colors right here is that we could maybe get something of a 5-to-1 risk to reward move here and manage our risk by not wanting to see the prices taken out that sort of 12.20 being 12 being 120, which was as before the stock split, 12.20 being like really close to 110 at that point. I mean, it's going down the way. So I would be kind of like cautious there. Not to the extent that I couldn't anticipate potentially a bounce. It's just one of these things that if it went down past that region, then I wouldn't be looking to hold on to it. This is theoretical in terms of what's up on the screen at the minute, but I'm looking to see if we can get this bounce here. I like the way that this is kind of somewhat wedgy. It's hard to see, but it's somewhat wedgy now that I've zoomed on in here in terms of the highs and the lows on this one. So it's an interesting one, right? This is in volume. If we do get a pickup in volume, then it could be a signal to us that we've got starting volume on the go. This huge amount of volume that happened in here is the description of that accumulation play in terms of the the volume on the chart. And this is when I want to see things actually respond positively like that. Oh yeah, right? So cool, excellent. Back on over then to these picketers, and we're coming up to markets open. Sweet, 5 minutes to go until markets open. Plenty of time to take a look at these two things. So Ethereum, brilliant. Ethereum to 2,602. Where are we on that one? Test the 2,700 would be where that 236 is. You think it might push on past, but not actually manage to make it to the 382. There's what you're saying. The cross happened a while ago, but it's only it's kind of it's not quite. It's judicious strength of trend on the ADX over there. Let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. Ethereum Bobs, hello. Ethereum USDT again. I'm going to look over at the Binance chart again on this one. The reason I use that all the time is because it provides me with consistency as I look between my prior technical analysis, allowing me to do so I can keep consistent. What in the earth? What on earth? How convenient. So pop that up towards the top there so we can actually see in terms of where I've got this Fibonacci positioned on at, that we're struggling below that 236, right at that 382, below the cloud. Okay. Oh, right. Oh, we did what we were talking about in terms of like dropping down below 3K. Ha, ha, ha. But we actually pushed up as high as what, 3,000? Oh, did we go all the threes? Did we go to all the threes? Where did we get to? We went to all the threes. We went to all the threes. Do you watch my technical analysis? Have you seen my technical analysis before? You're like, there's that Rocky guy. He likes to say funny things at times, like Ethereum's going to go to all the threes. Yeah. Anyway, we made it. Yeah. Right. Anyway, the next stage of this thing, can we see? Well, I mean, pivot for me is going to be in here at this 2,999 area, right? I mean, why not, right? Or 2,900. And that we'd be looking down towards that 50% area. That's 2,848. What did your picture say again, by the way? 2,602. So 2,602 is lining up with, that's where I've got that sort of yellowy line in there. There's the 786 retracement in there. I'm not too sure if that's I'm not too sure on that one, man. I'm not too sure. I mean, yeah, sure, but cool. We're below all of this stuff that's happening. 24-hour time frame here showing us that as well, that there is that big potential for just to pull back to the 618 in here and try and test it amongst the cloud. I do feel like that would be the sort of scenario you're looking at when we take out the 2,900 one. I wouldn't necessarily be aiming as far as 2,600 necessarily, because the increase in risk in that zone is going to be bigger. Excuse me again for the volume on my chart's not working. Why you like that trading view? Effing pissing me off. Anyway, so yeah, going down to there would be to go towards your target. Going down to there is to just the golden pocket. Can we kind of find some support in that region? Well, we would anticipate it on the way, I suppose, rather than necessarily try and predict that thrust there. But you can see that there's obviously a huge amount of space there between where we've been recently, and that's just well, that's to be expected given the parabolic move up that we've had. And this is why is that Fibonacci that I've got in there so shite, by the way? Where did I draw it from? Over here. It's over there. It's perfect. That's perfect. That's the perfect place to have it, by the way. But this will be the one that BMJ was looking at there. Yeah, 2,800, 2,575, somewhere in this region. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense as well from that point of view. But 2,800. 2 minutes to go. I'll look at the next picture in a second. Yeah. Yeah, man, right, sound. So to go in for a test of the 200 simple moving average on the 4-hour time frame is completely typical in crypto all the time. Yeah. And to do this to go down to that region there would be completely typical. You could be thinking about it from along the lines of that 2,850. My line there was kind of $50 more. I'm just kind of like, I'm not interested in 2,900 down to 2,600. You know, I get it. I see what you're saying. It's the risk in these zones is big, man. I mean, it really is a matter of perspective, and it's a case of looking at it along the way, because these lows in here are absolute bullshit. As I put in the 24-hour time frame, and you can see that those lows in there are complete bullshit. There is absolutely no support, you know, unless it just like, you know, yeah, man, right. So anyway, but we could be fine here. We could be going up fine, right? What was the other thing? I've got 30 seconds left to go. So what was the other one? Just a sec here. Bitcoin. Yeah, that's the same as what I was saying, man. That's the same as what I was saying before in the Bitcoin episode. That's actually the image for it. GME, place to be. Right. We chatted about this before we started. Don't forget, we did. Auto button here. So, if I just point something out for you, the prices managed to, in the pre-market, push back up, not put in that low. The extended hours, obviously, you did have it going down to that 153. What we wanted to see happening was for the prices to actually open up above 155. Bad Mama Jama, D Harker, and then all of you that were watching along in that episode that I put out just a second ago that crashed during it, before I had to restart this stream, I was discussing that in quite a bit of detail. Perfect that has happened so far. Now we can then ask that question about where they're going to 154. This was the conversation we were having last night. Was the headline was, what's your target for tomorrow? The answer was 154 something from D Harker, I think. Then my response to that was, what do you mean by target necessarily? You know, I wouldn't want to see it opening up at 154. That would be crap. I want to see it open up above that. If we do go to 154, I'm completely happy. I'm comfortable with that. That's not a problem. But I don't want to see it closing down there. It depends, like, you know, what time is it going down there? Is it wicking back up, etc.? And that was the next stage of that conversation. So in terms of this one, if that's actually a thing, I don't want to see it going to 150. I'd rather it didn't. You know, we're ready for it to. This is that we're very ready for this to not go to 154. What we're seeing as well, like in terms of the 5 minute time frame. This is fucking 5 minute time frame. What am I doing? I have an idea. Awesome. Yeah, right. So we're ready for it to not go down there. It's like I said, I don't want to see it going down there and putting in those lows, you know. We have the Michimoku cloud down below us, but that's actually, I want to see this one working, and that's 156. So if we did pull down to those regions, then that's okay. Anyway, we're just describing the opening session, you know, the opening trading time here. So anyway, jumping over to AMC. Jumping over to the AMC movie theaters. There's going to be a lot of worry about Delta variants. Of course there is. But here we have it. 1 hour time frame. We're up above that 200 simple period moving average. We're up above the 236. Or are we? We're only just slightly below it. Now, this is the opening range of the day. Is this going to be the battle for the day? 36, the battle for the day? I don't know if that's a fair description. It's putting too much weight on it. I want to see I still just want to see what the opening range is on this one for us. So we'll see how it develops at the minute, but this is it starting off. Rocky Outcrop is such a great teacher. I was watching this stream yesterday and just marveled at how great he is at it. Just wonderful. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's really awesome. Yeah, that was worth it. That little bit of orange in there. If anything, I'm the one with control issues. LOL. Yeah. Well, probably. That's probably true, Kitty Babes. Anyway, you're funny. Adele Idris. That's a cool name. I wonder where you're from. Adele Idris. Space Tasty Works. What's going on there with that chat? It's great to see everybody out there, by the way, as well. If you haven't hit the like button, then please people, hit the like button. And Almo Naster said, just open at 157. Thoughts? Yeah, well, those were my thoughts, man. Those were my thoughts, actually, that I was describing a second ago. Do. Ba-da-ba-da-bam-ba-dam. Whee! Hello! Sadly, the caterpillar pattern didn't quite work out there with regards to this one. It's been a wee while since we've had El Caterpillar on the charts. I was wondering where this thing was hiding. So strange that I've not seen this in ages. I have to be on my own charts and then double it up with a double screen, and then I find this one. Shame, caterpillar pattern. But, see all these lines that were in here this entire time with the caterpillar pattern stuff. That was also true, since we're still where we are right now. Zooming in. In fact, I quite like that chart. I'm going to keep that one I'll move GME over to the left. Yep, so there we have it. We are currently doing what... Fucking volume thing, man. Pissing me off. Like, why? Right, I tell you what. If I just delete this and do this... Ta-da! Everybody out there that had an OCD issue with my volume... That's pretty good, isn't it? Fixed it up, nifty, swifty. So it started to work again the way I want it to work. Thank God. Right. So I don't know why it was broken. Anyhow, yeah, look at that. So this is an examination, and we've kind of prefaced this chat, I think, fairly thoroughly. Let me just check my Streamlabs, see my head's not in the way. It is. It's in the way. Doodaloo. Oh, bum 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 ba-ba-dum. Whee! So we have this discussion point on the go. Maybe I need to make this clearer. I know that I need to make the background clearer. I hate the background. That's a better gradient for my eyes. Sorry. Jamie and I are going to have to discuss what gradients we like using in the back of the charts. I'm not 100% sure if that was the right gradient or not, but I do know that for the last 3 days I've been looking at that thinking it's utterly gash. I hate it. So I'm changing it back to this one. It's dark. I like it. But it's not consistent, so we're going to have to fix it up again because we want our channels to have similar looks. Anyhow, this is the question that we're asking. Now, I don't put in any great weight on this thing actually necessarily working out. It's the 1 hour time frame, Ichimoku cloud, lower area. It's where I want it to see working out. Here's the 2 hour. You can see that we're below the cloud, and we actually found that operating as resistance. So we want this to not work, as we want the 1 hour cloud to work. Okay, so this is the kind of the split between where we are on both of these and where can we move. The 50 simple moving average just above our heads there at 157.52. So that's what I'm hoping for. Here's the 30 minutes just to put all of this again into a sort of different perspective. It's on up again, a level up above. So that is, well, I mean, that's not particularly useful right now, to be honest with you. I mean, I know that the bigger time frames aren't particularly useful either, but this is what I'm looking to see happen here, and we're still just waiting for the opening range to really express itself. Now, we could have been talking about this from the point of view of how would we ourselves be playing this at the start of the day, and I already did. Okay, maybe it's not so clear, but it felt really clear to me. I was saying, I want to see the prices opening up at this certain price. I'm happy enough to see them going somewhere. I don't mind. I want to see those areas of support working for us on like the 1 hour time frames. I don't mind if we wick down there and come back up, yada, 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 yada. And the low then so far, where's the low? Was that just telling me, is that a pre-market that's that low that's telling me that? Or is it's got zoomed? Why is it? I don't know. These averages and highs and lows aren't working properly as I. Wait a minute. 154. Oh, it's happened today. Oh, it happened there. Oh, it happened there now already. 154.59. Woofed. What did I say? 154.79. So what did you say, D? I can't remember what you said exactly in terms of the number you were talking about. My guess was one that you said 154.79. I mean, this is credit to you, D, man. This is your technical analysis that we're using here on the show, so credit to you. But we're waiting to see now how like the next thing evolves right now, and we can do that with things like, of course, examining this over the period of the next wee while as to how will this hour close out. So that's what we're going to be coming back around to talk about. It is now 40 minutes after the hour, and I'm going to scroll on down into the chat and see how everybody is getting along. And chat to you for 5 minutes here, okay? Because I need a bit of a break at times myself, and this is a good time for anybody else as well who needs a break to go have a wee do whatever. 5 minutes of chit chat with a chatter. I'm not really going to focus too much on the charts. In fact, I'll make it obvious to everybody that's watching along here that it's going to be 5 minutes. I'm getting better at the timing thing, by the way, folks. 5 minutes. I'll just sit here in space for 5 minutes. As chat comes up. So this is this section of the show. Hi. What would it be in Spanish anyway? El enseñado or el enseño? I mean, is that even it? I mean, like, do you even say that in Spanish? I don't know. Spanish speakers in the audience, let me know. What would you say? I'm saying the show. I can't remember. What would you say? Would you say that? Surely not. Just say like programa. You know? I don't know. Hey, whoo, wow. So, what is all getting up to? Tradespawn was in their chat, and there's a big chunk of text in there. There are two types of people in the world: those who stand up to be counted, and those who stand up to count. Be the latter. Use your whole life to make someone else's dreams come true, so you can pay your little bills. That's what I'm doing at the minute. Who said that? Tradespot said that. Okay, so I was about to give out some. Oh, there's somebody out there in the world who has a similar mentality to me. Well, it's my brother, so no big surprises there. Cockroach Rancher says, "I am not a cat." I don't know, man. Rocky, mate, you might be a cat. You might be. I've seen the GIFs. I know what cats look like. Rocky, mate, can you explain the benefit is viewing the same coin crypto against BTC USD from various sources? I can see you have some cons showing up in your watch list several times, wondering why. Wow. 1 year. One year, 8 months, and 19 days into my YouTube career. 1 year, 8 months, 19 days into my YouTube career, somebody asked me why I have multiple charts for the cryptos up there. Whoa, we can totally discuss that. So there's a few different things, right? You're going to be looking to see, for example, with Bitcoin, right? You've got the most liquid futures exchange. Futures exchange. It's kind of a funny way of saying it, but they are perpetual futures swap contracts. Would have been, I'm not actually sure what the current figures are, would have been BitMEX. So I wanted that chart there for the liquidity to see how things are going, right? There's more reasons than just that. I also want to be able to look across at the Bitcoin dominance chart and the Bitcoin CME's futures chart. Now, CMEs are the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I'm pretty sure it's literally across the road from the CBOE. If you're ever looking at TradingView and you don't have the NYSE the price information, then what you get is it coming through from CBOE. It's a Chicago thing, mate. So anyway, over there in Chicago, they've also got these futures exchange there, and the Bitcoin's traded on it with different hours as well. So you get gaps and stuff like that on that chart. So sometimes I'm looking at a different chart for gaps. Sometimes I'm looking at a different chart because I know that there's different amounts of liquidity. Now, as well, I'm also looking to see where the extremes were. Occasionally, you'll be saying, if we see the markets, I think right now that even if we see the markets just trading below that number, then earned or something like that. So I'll look and see, across a couple of different charts for just to see where things actually went. Now, they're almost always the same. I'd also look to see liquidity hunts, right? Something that I don't talk about in the channel ever, but it's something that I do. And I do it on the channel. Crazy enough. When it was all crypto, then it was the sort of thing that I would talk about. I don't know if it was the sort of thing I would talk about in so many words, but I would be doing it as I was talking about it, looking for the regions where the prices were stopped where people got stopped out, where the stop hunts had gone to, the sort of market maker play. Now, there's other examples as well. Now, you get things like arbitrage opportunities. Now, if I just jump back over to the other chart, then we can talk about this for a second. Let me just bring up the charts here and show you. Now, by the way, as this is ongoing right now, 153.98 on GME prices. Sorry, D, you were wrong in the end. Bollocks. So was I guess, in that sense. I was kind of like agreeing with you throughout the show today. But so yeah, man, like, could we be going down to that 151 area? I don't want to see closures below there. Seeing closures below there, then yeah, we're going to 150. This is the last low. Was it a bullshit low? Seems like it was in the end so far. If this does actually close down below there, it seems like it was so far in the end. So this is like, looking down to this area and saying, well, was that our last low? Oh my god. If we actually do manage to pull back up the way here, then there's a good chance that we'll get some hidden bullish divergence left on the charts. It's not a million miles away. We've got 45 minutes to go. We're just expressing the opening range, popping in the lows, etc. so far. The low being 153.71, $1 out in terms of what we were talking about. We're still not, this is the momentum. This is the momentum. So we're waiting to see that play out, etc. at the minute. How do I look on Streamlabs again? Pretty. I'm so pretty. So over here, what did I want to show you? The different exchanges. So, okay, right. So here's a couple of examples as well of how you see different stuff on the go, right? Here there is Tezos traded on Gbtc. Now what they often do is disallow their customers from withdrawing certain cryptocurrencies, and you can see that sometimes there's huge disparities in price. Right now it's 340 there. It's 340, 340, 340, and they're all within cents of each other. If I go back in time to different regions in price, right? So if I bring up this chart here, and when was it at 156? Was it 256? 256. Memory fails me here. 256. 22nd of November 2020 at 256, right? And then I look over here, 22nd November 2020. Look at a different chart. 22nd of November 2020. 22nd November. 258. Damn it. Right, but the prices went up here to 290, whereas on Gbtc, where did they go to? 286. That is a bad example though, because for a lot of the times there was up to 60 cents arbitrage opportunity between the exchanges on this one. Now, I'm not proactively seeking out those arbitrage opportunities because I know that there's sort of transfer and everything else fees and you need to operate in scale. But we were talking about at the time and saying, what would you need to do? I think we were even worked out in the Discord that you would need to be transferring like a minimum of however many thousands or whatever. But you couldn't. It was a one-way arbitrage. It was like operating on two different floats. So there's that. You'll also notice that I have here for Chainlink, I have Chainlink versus Bitcoin, something that nobody, and you'll have noticed by watching along with the channel, not a single person has asked me to take a look at a Bitcoin pairing coin. No, one person has asked me to take a look at a Bitcoin pair in the last 6 months. One. Like that's meh. Yeah, about that sort of thing, about that, right? So nobody really seems to care about that, despite the fact that everybody before used to care about it. So in crypto land, there's like so many morons, and it's wall to wall, and they talk about things that are wrong. One of them being how during the Bitcoin bull market, everybody's going to want to look at the price of the altcoins versus Bitcoin, and that was a big discussion point in the entire bear market of 2018 for all cryptocurrency people. And then for most of them, then it was a big discussion, and they were wrong, right? Nobody wants to look at it, anyway. But I look at it and stuff and talk about it. As you can see here, all that good stuff on there. Oh, that worked. Oh, that worked. Oh, we're a little bit wrong in our liquidity box there, but our fib worked. Bang, back down again. Oh, wow, great. TA working in front of your very eyes. Amazing, right? Then I have Chainlink versus Ethereum here, so I can see what it's like here. This is looking at the dynamics in the market. This is something that's far more similar to looking at forex, for instance. Like, you're looking at your euro dollar, your euro Japan, Japan dollar, like looking at Japan, euro Japan, JPY, yen, I should be saying, but I'm trying to talk to an audience that might not know what yen is. So that's the sort of thing that you might do, like kind of looking around and seeing where the trend is on one, where the trend is on another. Are you at pivot points versus them? You'll also notice here in the Bitcoin chart that I have, that says Gbtc is where the liquidity is. It's good for looking at your stop hunts. Recent lows, for example, down here in this low, 27,929. And on the other chart over here, how are we doing for time? Finish this up in a minute. 30,000, right? 30,000. That was the low. 30,124 over here. What was the low? 27,900. No, 28,858. The low was off by $2,000. $2,000. 7% difference in these two prices in those exchanges. So there's another reason. Over here, you've got Gbtc. That is Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, they call it. Do you trust them, though? Do you trust them? Do ya? And one of the interesting things about this is the gaps do get filled on this chart. If I was doing, if I was focused only on cryptocurrency these days, like I was for the first year of my YouTube career, I'd be talking about how there's this gap in here, down here. I would look at the premium. You can see that it costs $33 on average for this during this period, $33. So you're talking about buying a thing which is not the same price as Bitcoin. You can see the current price of this thing, by the way, at $35.09. The current price of Bitcoin, $44.87. So I'd be working out what the differences were between them, talking about the gaps on them. Here's the Bitcoin CME chart where it's got gaps as well. I'd be pointing out the gap that's down there on the CME chart at 32,000 and talking about how, that. Instead, what you see me doing is talking about how 48,000 is really important and all this, right? Do you get this sense? Are you able to pin together out there in the audience? Let me know if you are. I'll not ask a poll for this one because it's too like ego driven or whatever by me, but do you get the sense that when I'm talking about 48,000 etc, and I'm not talking about these gaps down here, but that I'm trying to prepare people for what could happen and what the significance of pivots would be in the markets with regards to these coins while we're in a bullish phase, because we want this to be a breakaway gap that doesn't get filled in a hurry. But the reality is that the gap that was being filled in over here in the CME charts was the one that was created on the 18th of May, and that's happened now already, right? So, and you'd think to yourself, Rocky, my God, that's so amazing, that information you've just delivered there. We really ought to have clips about it. Man, it doesn't work. I've been at YouTube for like I say, 1 year, 8 months, 19 days. I've got a pretty good handle on what people understand in the markets, right? This is professional level. Doesn't work. I can do this stuff and Eric Crown could watch it and he'd like it. Jamie can watch it and I could name maybe 100 people. I could actually name 100 people who would really like it. And then there's literally maybe 3 million people at the same time on YouTube who completely do not like that content, right? So that's the reality for you. And then you also have as well Bitcoin versus GBP. I've got this on my chart down below. So I've got numerous reasons why I look across numerous different exchanges for these cryptocurrency coins. There's normally a pretty good picture to be built up looking at them. I do like to have a standard saved in my favorites, both the USD pair and the Bitcoin pair, of course. And there's a couple of things, so little things that are worth pointing out, for example, are with Tezos, right? If I bring up the Tezos exchange, there's Bitfinex, but what I'm looking for is Coinbase. All right, I go up to the weekly chart here on this one. Here's another thing for you. Scroll back over. You see it started here on this chart on the 2nd of October 2017. But if I go over to this chart here, you can see it started on it on the 23rd of September 2019. Okay, 2 years difference. 2 years difference of data on the different charts. 2 years. So what if I'm looking at them weekly? And what if I want to have moving averages on the chart, right? What if I want to have moving averages on the chart and I want to have the 200 simple? I don't have that here, right? So you see this? I only have the 50 simple. But if I jump over to this chart, I've got the 50, and I've got the 200 simple now, right? So I've got 4 lines of a 200 simple because it just doesn't have the data. I jump to a different chart, I've got no 200 simple. I jump to this chart, right? I've not got 4 dots, I've got more. I've got even more, right? It's got an extra couple of months of price action on this one. So there's numerous reasons, okay? There's numerous reasons. Like, look at the volume profile here down below, right? Not the visible range profile, not that. Look at the profile. Look at the shape of the volume here. One exchange, next exchange, 0. Next exchange, next exchange, right? And let's just run back through that again. So that one, then there is that one, then there was that one, and then there was that one, right? So, there you have it, pal, right? 55 minutes after the hour, going back over to check out how the opening range went on me here in the weekly time frame. Limitations of the Ichimoku cloud, as seen here, that the actual cloud itself is merely a line going through here in the weekly time frame. So there's one of the limitations of the thing, as opposed to that one that Bad Mama Jama was talking about. You can see with regards to the smoothing factor, this is one of the things I was going to point out if I found an opportunity to it. Wow, I found an opportunity to do that. So that's pretty neat. Cool. So jumping back down the way though to the 1 hour time frame so we can actually see where we are. We're at 155. Okay, 155. There's some time to go, for 35 minutes before we see if we actually finish out the hour of the day here at 156. Would be cool to see. We see that the Bad Mama Jama D Harker chat from last night has worked out. This has come into this area here, but not as low yet as the lower end of it. Trying to find support in some region along here where we're not seeing lows. We're still asking the question: are we going to take out that prior low just there? In which case, we're going to have to look and see, well, where are we going to find our next low at? And just doing a quick sort of examination of where you'd find these sorts of things if you were going looking for them would be, wow, that's right, the 1618 as well. Were you cheating last night? Were you cheating and using a Fibonacci tool and not telling me? Were you doing that? I should have done that last night, eh? I should have done that. I should have said, D, you should have said, I think it's going to 154. And I should have said, yeah, well, I think it's going to 153.75. And then just not told you I had the Fibonacci retracement up there. That would have been a good laugh, wouldn't it? Anyway, if we did actually push on down past that, then you're looking towards the 786, that's 150. It's going to be absolutely no coincidence. No coincidence at all when I point out that this number just here is, of course, 150. It's what we've been talking about, by the way. If it was 886 that you were going to, that's 147. But if you're looking down to the low, that's 145. What have we been talking about? Yes, 145, 150, 155. It's not because they're round numbers, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm talking about them. The reason I'm talking about them is because they're real levels with actual technical analysis backing them up. And that's why, as well, we're looking at here at 156, with the main concern kind of being in this region, like, are we going to go and try and be above 155, blah, blah, blah. Why? Well, yet again, what's that number there at 155? That's where that prior low is. It's not because a 155 is a nice number. I need to make this reference a lot because, like I say, the Ethereum charts, I'm saying they're going to 3,333. That's a nice number. That's the main reason I'm saying that number as opposed to 3,330 or 3,335. I'm saying 3,333.33 because it gives me the chance to say all the threes, right? And I love doing that. But I wouldn't just fucking pull that number out my ass when it's actually going to 2,222. Right? Here, likewise, I love saying numbers like 155. Just let's call it 155. It would be arrogant of me to be saying, no, it's going to go to 150.18, 150.18. That would be arrogant. But actually, as it happens, these are the numbers, and that's why I'm talking about that. This is a nice time, and why not lean on this a little bit as people are educated along the way with what we're doing. We're coming up here to the top of the hour. It's going to be 3 p.m. my time, 10 a.m. your time rather soon as I bring up the AMC chart, and we'll be going back over and discussing a couple of those news articles I had up there. As I see a comment coming in from Space Banana. If anyone wants to ask Rocky, be sure to at Rocky Outcrop to get his attention. It highlights his message for him. Example, case in point right there. I think, a perfect example of that. As you can see, it does work, right? Over here, you can see that the lows so far in terms of the chart, in terms of today's price action, the low coming in at 34.66, but and that's obviously tested both these regions that there, and has gone down below that 36.36. The story for today is going to be again, can we get back to 36.36? Are we operating in a case where we have highs, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and higher lows, question mark, in at this region? Is this a higher low? And that's what we're asking at the minute. Because if it isn't, then there's an awfully tempting looking lagoon down below there. What was that? What would that be like? Like tempting looking lagoon. All right, let's just Google that up. Images. How's my language skills? Are they all right, everybody? Was that a pretty good way of describing that? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder because I'm talking an awful lot of shite. So here you go, tempting looking lagoon over there. If we were to drop below 34.88, seeing that my name is being mentioned now, we've got John G saying, we're going to see it dip down, but we're looking for high lows. And I changed the RSI. Nice one, mate. Appreciate it when people write messages to me that they make them make sense overall, but I appreciate it, man. Finesse Finance says, YouTube might not be interested in the legit professional tier TA, but I am. If y'all do the courses lessons, I'm interested. Nice one, man. Looking to finesse that finance. Tradespot says, I'm going for a quick walk with my mum. If anybody wants to get wide and chat, please at Rocky Outcrop or another mod. That's very funny. If you, I think we've got a mod here with us though. We've got AB Lopez I saw in the previous stream, and Katie Babes is kicking about in this one, I believe, anyway, so she can take care of any sort of bad actors for us. Brandon Rogers AMC. Is this a higher low? Brandon Rogers, Rocky, need help, brother. Do I hold? Brandon Rogers, Rocky, help, brother. Do I hold? You are a god. Thanks so much, Brandon. That's really feckin' lovely. I don't know what the context is in terms of do I hold. I mean, what we're looking at here from the broader picture, let's be a wee bit more clear about this. I'll jump out to the 4-hour time frame, is that we are looking for the bullish divergence at this low area to carry us up into the cloud, which we were resisted at before, having now popped back down to do a natural 382 Fibonacci retracement, having hopefully then found this as being our higher low, not taking out that prior area, waiting for the hour to close out, which is halfway through at the minute, and then we're going to try perhaps afterwards to get through what is relatively speaking the narrowest 45 degree angle through the cloud here, which would be in about this region just here. If we're able to do that without expanding it out the way, further continuation towards the downside is merely going to add more fuel to the fire of the cloud over here if we're talking about it from that point of view. So naturally speaking, what you actually want to see right here right now is this. That's the ideal outcome. 4-hour time frame means that this could be a case of it being over the period of however many days, because only 4 hours in any given trading day in America. My God, you guys are lazy. But then I love it. But it's different over here in the UK. And then that could be where it goes to, right? That could be where it goes to. Now, it's not about laziness, by the way, the American markets. It's about creating a zone where there's going to be the highest amount of liquidity. The markets do actually close for a reason, and the reason isn't so that all the poor worker bees can go home and kiss their wifeys and have dinner. No, that's not what it's for, right? The reason is for liquidity. That's it. Always has been. I promise you, Banks would stay open 24 hours a day, and they would hire people to work in them 24 hours a day if the real markets really all around the world were 24-hour-a-day markets, but they're not. It's condensed to create a liquidity situation. That is what it's all about. Anyway, 4-hour time frame. Look at this one. It would take several of them. That's what we're looking for. But, plenty of time left on this, and instead we've decided to split hairs and talk about it from this point of view. But do you hold? Well, if we take out sort of 29, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you don't at 29. Maybe you don't, man. Maybe you don't. I don't care, right? I'm holding it all the way if it goes down to $9, $6, $7, $5, $4 again. I don't care, right? What I did is I took the amount of money that I could afford to lose, and then occasionally, as I get more money in, I take some that I can afford to lose, and I buy this crap with it, and then I don't sell it, because I'm here as part of a community of people, called free, individual, entitled, rights-led, independent, self-reliant individuals in the world. That community, everybody that in America that subscribes to the American dream, for example, everyone. I'm part of that part, and it's my right to do so, and it might actually, ultimately affect the banks. For you personally, mate, I can't tell you what you should do, right? You would need to put in a bunch of context of how you're trading this thing and what you're looking for and everything else. And also, I don't really massively care, right? I mean, I care about your success as a trader, but I don't care about your one trade. Man, are you going to be trading for years, or are you just trading today? If you're just trading today and you want the answer for just now, then the answer is I do not care. F off. But and with the greatest respect, because I do care about you, Brandon, man. But if you're trading over the long period of time, right, and you're asking me for some information about this particular trade you're doing, we can talk about it, right? Hence, D. Harker, Bad Mama Jama, and I talking about AHT last night, for example, right? If you're going to be trading for a while. But if you're just coming in here asking me what you're going to do with your trade, man, I mean, fuck off, man. That's so rude of you. Anyway, right. So what we have here is 5 past the hour, and there was news that we were going to talk about, and I'm looking forward to it. This article is the one I've been wanting to read. Amazon Alexa, women use smart speaker to tell ex's lover to go. That's the really weird written headline there. I'm actually going to refresh the page and see if they've changed the headline, because that's so awful. It'd be better if they had a better headline. No. Anyway, right. So a woman accused her ex-boyfriend's smart speaker. A woman accessed, and then she was laterally accused. A woman accessed her ex-boyfriend's smart speaker from her home 100 miles away to tell his new girlfriend to leave. Wait, this is really badly written. Who wrote this article? Follow BBC Yorkshire thingy. Send your story to there. 1 day ago. No. They've not attributed. The author of this article hasn't got a name on it. Right, well, let's read this really badly written article out, by the way. Tips, if you're watching this, BBC News, is that headline's shite. In this sentence, you've used your pronouns incorrectly here, right? A woman accused her ex-boyfriend's accessed her ex-boyfriend's smart speaker from her home 100 miles away to tell his new girlfriend to leave. It's a sucky reading sentence. Anyway, to me, personally. Philippa Coppleston Warren, there's a double barrel name. Maybe she feels entitled because she's got a double barrel surname. That's the way it works in Britain, by the way. We're a class-led society. Accessed Alexa app linked to devices, including cameras, lights, and his Amazon Echo speaker at his home in Lincolnshire. Right? And then, what did she do, though? Then she used it to turn on the bedside table. Oh, no. This is it. She used the app to remotely speak to her and tell her to get out. The current prosecutor said that accessing her ex-partner's devices allowed her to see the victim's new girlfriend in the house. Yeah, so this guy has like Amazon, like that Ring doorbell camera or whatever you call it, the Blink camera or whatever. So then she used it to do that, tell her to get out. Then she used it to turn on the bedside table light on and off before posting nude image on social media. Right? Captioned, "Do I look fat? My daily question." Bad. Maybe if you just sent a message saying get out, woof. Maybe if you just turned on the lights and off the lights, woof. But then you go and put a naked picture of someone on, and you fat shame as well. or at least you imply, regardless of whether or not that person is fat or not, you put in that 1990s question. Her ex-partner did not encouraging dysmorphia among people. Shame on you. Her ex-partner did not realize the image had been posted until he received messages from concerned friends in the early hours of 6th of October 2019 during lockdown. Kippelson Warren said, "You might also want to remove your naked picture off Facebook." Woof. 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 She pleaded guilty. Why? Because she's guilty AF. To disclosing private sexual images with the intent to cause distress. Grave invasion of privacy. That is the verdict over here. Christian Mickle from the CPS, whoever they are, said that Philippa Copleston Warren carried out a grave invasion of privacy. Well, Philippa, let's go and look, because that's a highly unusual name, isn't it? So this is what I wanted to do for a couple of minutes. Here she is, everybody. This is what she looks like. This is what she looks like. Let's see if she... This is her here. Philippa Copleston Warren. There she is. There she is. There she is. So let's go and take a look and see if we can find her on Twitter as well. Copleston Warren. What a name, eh? Philippa Copleston Warren. Oops. Search Twitter. Is she on here? Or she had it been taken down? Where are you, Philippa? Where are you, Philippa? It's going to be hard because there's so many people called it. Why? People. Let's see. No results. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that's Philippa Copleston Warren. There's Crown there. This had me laughing. Let's watch this for a second. I like this guy. I recommend people know who he is.
What the? When you see Voyager token going 60% in a day, what the fuck is this thing? What the hell even is this thing? You can see over here it does have the. Anyways.
Yeah, me and Crown are kindred spirits. Yeah, lols at that one and lols at that one. Good guy. Right, cool. Anyway, back over here. 10 past the hour. 10 after. KT of Charka saying, they are ashamed of the content. No one wanted to confess to the writing. That's what I feel. I just feel like, I'm just joking. I was really harsh on them, but it's like, come on, BBC, put the names of people on there, do a better job, stop being so crap. I'm just fed up with the. It's not the person who wrote the article's problem. It's just the BBC for years being really crap. I mean, they're good. Certain parts of it are really amazing, like the World Service is amazing and stuff like that. But then other parts of it's just crap. It's turned into blog article crap. Jerry Springer Stories. That's right. That's the BBC for you. It doesn't have it. That's why I thought it's a bit of fun. Rocky Outcrop. Me too. Using money I can't afford to lose, which affords me the ability to just hodl as long as forever. That's it. Rocky Outcrop. This is the P.O. Box. Unreasonable Land. P.O. Box. 24203 Edinburgh EH79GQ UK. I'm going to put that in a pinned message in here, right? It's just here. So if the PO box, so I'll just go send me thanks. Send me thanks. You'll have to label it if you actually want to send it to me, or if you want to send it to Jamie. You'll have to label that properly. So anyway, Unreasonable Land. This is. You'd have to write it like the. Oh shit, that's wrong. All right. Anyway, there it is. I'll just put it in again and not make it easier to read. So you'd have to write it like that on each new line. So it'd be a new line. Oh, whatever. I'm sure you can figure it out. I'm sure the post office will figure it out as well. Let's split things up a little bit here so you can see it better though. Do 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 do. Just putting a whole load of spaces in here so that you can see that there's different constitutional bits to that address, right? So that's that. There's the PO box in there, and I also put in this here thing. So join Discord, and support me. https://patreon.com/Rocky Outcrop. Yay! I'll pin that up to the top of the chat, Rooney as well. Ba-doo! Pin message. So just that there. If anybody wants to, Chris Sweeney is good to see you, by the way, mate, as ever. BBC Radio is good. Yeah, BBC Radio is good, and lots of BBC is really good. I mean, lots of it's amazing. For instance, the the Magnus Opus. What do they call them again? Anyway, the amazing, fantastic pieces of work that are planet Earth. Anything that David Attenborough has ever touched in his life is absolute gold. For instance, we all know this stuff. It's amazing, amazing stuff. As well, just generally speaking, the sort of the foreign policy stuff on it is actually really pretty good. However, there's also kind of like big mistakes out there, and it's like BBC. When are you going to talk about Yemen properly? When are you going to do this? When are you going to actually tell people the news? When are you going to stop lying? When are you going to stop like being saying lies about Scotland in your news, BBC, like all the time? When are you going to do things that are fair and equitable? When are you going to stop hiring paedophiles, BBC? When are you going to stop that? Like, for instance, really. Anyway, stuff like that. Den of inequity. John G, can I send you a gift for Jamie? That's Jamie's P.O. box, essentially. He set that up. If you're sending stuff to it, then and there's any sort of it's not marked, then the assumption will probably be that somebody sent it to Jamie, probably, right? So if you are sending something specifically for me, make sure you write it. Otherwise, John G, man, go ahead. You can send anything you like to Jamie. Good to see you, Brandon. I'm so glad that you're still there. It's trash. Stop lying. I'm so glad that you're still in the chat there and that you didn't get annoyed with me. I hope that you actually liked my answer, by the way, as well, even though I was saying kind of negative stuff. Clearly, the first PO box started in the US. Lol. I wonder. Magnum Opus. Thank you, Luke. All right, what did I say? Magnus Opus? I don't know. Anyway, there's some amazing pieces of work that BBC have done, always, absolutely. But then there's some really bad pieces of work. When was it? Who did John Simpson work for when he liberated Benghazi? John Simpson, Benghazi. The BBC, aye? So BBC's World Affairs editor ran in, this guy called John Simpson. He ran into Benghazi during the whole Libyan thing. You'll recognize him there, right? That John Simpson guy. Do you recognize him? John Simpson, a really famous reporter in the UK. He runs in and he's like, I liberated Benghazi, etc. But I actually have a great deal of respect for him. And see this guy, he's the guy from. There's another few. War correspondents are incredibly amazing people. Really, they are. It's just that, the news at the time should have been about stuff about how Hillary Clinton completely destroyed that country and the whole thing was being a massive travesty and we really should all hang our heads in shame. That should be the news story more than anything else, and all that. Anyway, the Zig, man, I'm saying the exact same thing right now. Sorry to get political. Once the stories stop controlling it, Rocket Crop. Man, by the way, the rules when it comes to talking about politics, by the way, in the show is that nobody's allowed to talk about American politics too much. That's basically the rule. Just don't talk about American politics because Americans can't talk about politics. It's just something Americans can't do. It's kind of the fundamental basis of how the entire system in America works, is people not talking to each other properly and not communicating, especially with politicians, right? With that. So they can't, and we can't do it. We can't take that trickle down miscommunication system here ourselves, to quote Ben Bernanke. But what we can discuss, right? What we can discuss here in the channel is how Britain's a load of shite. Scotland should be independent. Leaving the EU was really a really horribly constructed decision. The Good Friday Agreement in Northern Ireland is really important. The betrayal of politicians like Tony Blair with his ridiculous sexed up thing, the illegal wars that we've conducted, the death camps that Britain had in Kenya up until the 1980s that they didn't admit about or apologize about until 2012. We can talk about all these things, no problem. We can talk about how we're a bunch of imperialist fucks over here in Britain and we're really, really bad people. We can talk about that, no problem at all. If you disagree with any of those things, then I've got no problem just banning you as well. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? Anyway, that's where we are. Facts, says Wilfred Doomslayer. Yeah. So anyway, you can talk about American politics. You can, right? It's just that. What I mean is, when I say you can't talk about it, it's less to do with, there's a rule which says you may not talk about American politics. And the reason for that rule is because you can't talk about American politics, all right? No offense to anybody. But I think all Americans would agree with me that one thing that Americans can't do very well, despite being an incredibly democratic, forward-thinking, amazing country, one of the best or the best country in the world, and I love every single one of them, is they can't have constructive political dialogue without hating each other. You just can't do it. I don't know why, right? I don't know why you can't, right? But if somebody out there who I really, really love and respect 100% says something that is their political opinion, the chances are there'll be another American person who I completely 100% love massively, two complete equals in my head of absolute majestic standards, really fantastic people, and they'll start hating each other. And I'm like, shut up, right? Whereas over here, I can talk about it, talk about British politics, no problem, because I'm so obviously who I am. There is not hardly any single idiotic Tory watches me in the UK. It just doesn't happen, right? It doesn't happen. Tories don't watch me. They don't. The closest I get to that are a few Rangers fans that watch me, and we have good banter with each other. It's all right, and I'm not sectarian, and I get on well with Rangers fans, right? You know, no problem with them. But I don't have. But I haven't. But you know, not the ones that hang out at the lodge all the time that fly Union Jacks and hate Catholics and are racist bastards. They can all go fuck themselves. And of course, as well, every Rangers fan that watches this knows that I think that Rangers is an institutionally racist, bigoted team, and that they're probably should hang their heads in shame for supporting them, because they're institutionally racist. It's well known, and that continues to be the way it is right up until the very current day, and that they're actually really, really, really bad thing to have in society, and that they should fuck off and die. But we're all fine with that together, right? We're all fine with that together. Anyway, 3:20 coming into the final 10 minutes of the show. Yeah. And what have we got left to talk about? Well, actually, yeah, we were going to check in. How did it go? GME, how did you close out? How are you getting on in the last throes of this thing? So we're looking to see, can we pull up above that? Doesn't look like we're going to right now. Next candle coming back into this zone and being a positive one. Very, very good. Okay. The chat is that we're at 155 and 2 cents with 9 minutes to go. And really, this is what we're looking to. I can just leave the mouse on there for this one. That's what we're looking to on the charts here. Have I got them up properly? Let me just double check. Just double check. Yeah, cool. I have. By the way, my chat there is very, 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 very clear. Very clear. Very, very clear. To people in the UK, and to people in America, it's very clear as well. I actually really, 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 really mean it. You know, politics. If you can discuss politics, I would be happy to discuss politics. There's a reason why there's a rule that you can't. It came about after knowing that you can't. Right? That's it. And I hope you understand the semantics I'm saying. That you would be allowed to, but you can't. So you may not. And that's if he wants to discuss it with me, there's no problem. You can always private message me. I'm actually into American politics. I like it. Anyhow, right, cool, nice one. So we're looking at the AMC right now. No, well, maybe if you're delayed, but right now I've got GME open, and I'm looking at one thing really. Is kind of like how this is going to close. I'm putting way too much importance on this because time's got to go by. But this is what I'm interested in, and it's not happened yet. And I'm looking to see 155, 150. But it's really going to be like, what's the reaction to it? A lower low here at this point means for us though, in terms of like the oscillators, etc. Because this wouldn't be hidden bullish divergence because it's lower than this previous low. So what we want is for this to be hidden bullish divergence on the MACD, the RSI, versus this previous low. We wouldn't have it. That's really all it is. Hidden bullish divergence isn't the be-all and end-all in the world, but we could easily see the prices dropping down 3% to $150 or whatever it is at that point. 1, 2, whatever, 3% down at that price point, at that point, if that's were to happen. Ha 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 ha. Love it. Thanks very much for that. So sure of yourself, Rocky. Am I? I don't know, man. I don't know. Cockroach, because they watched the propaganda and the hot crap spewed out by media stations. Yeah, it's totally. Probably. Yeah, it's probably. it becomes toxic because people gave up talking about it. Yeah, maybe. It's like, that's the thing is, I suppose, that the American political dialogue needs to have a reset on it, right? There's too much division, and there still is, and I don't know when that's going to end. So until that ends, and it's quite hard. It's hard at the minute, and I feel the same way. I feel the same way about loads of things at the minute. I mean, certain things that are happening right now are a travesty. They are, right? But they also agree in principle with the majority of what's going on as well. So it's a hard one. And it puts it in a hard place. And it's like, how do you build up the resilience in conversation to get to a point where you can talk about that? It takes time. It takes time with respect. You can't discuss football, Euro football, without bashing each other's brains out. I know, that's it. That's it. I've got zero problems with any football team in the world other than... Let me just consider this fully. Is that necessarily true? It's not true, because I've also got problems with Northern Ireland football teams and stuff like that too. It's not true. But any organisation that stands for bigotry, I hate. There's a football team in this country, 2 football teams in this country, which proactively stand for bigotry, and they do it to this day, and I hate them. And everybody should, including their own fans. That's just the way it is. You feel free to unsubscribe to my channel if you feel so strongly that your bigoted football club isn't like that. I don't give 2 fucks. By the way, for people to know what this is all about, it's like there's a football team in this country that had a policy that they wouldn't hire Catholics. They just wouldn't, Their fans sing "We Are the People," and they do that on purpose to sort of, make it so that there's an us v them mentality. They're ideologues, and they're bad. And they're just genuinely speaking bad people, because they follow an evil ideology within the confines of a mostly pretty well developed, kind of, mostly quite socially advanced country, and many of them are in positions of power. Okay, and that's that, right? I'm not going to change my mind about it. So stop being bigots. They've got a song that they sing at all of their football matches, and it goes, "Hello, hello, we are the Billy Boys. Hello, hello, you'll know us by our noise." Funnily enough, that was a song that was invented by Celtic, right? 120 years ago, they invented that song. An Irish Catholic football team. But then what the opposition in the town did is they heard Celtic singing that song, and they made their own one. "Hello, hello, we are the Billy Boys," right? They changed it. It was "Hello, hello, we are the Celtic Boys," right? But then they changed it to "Hello, hello, we are the Billy Boys," referring to King William III, who went over to Ireland and committed genocide against Catholics. And then they say this line in the song, "We're up to our knees in Fenian blood. Surrender or you'll die." Now, Fenian is the slur that you use against Catholics in this country, and they sing it all the time, right? Yous are a bunch of fucking cunts that do that. If you're a Rangers fan watching this, that's it, right? So that's my opinion on it. That's it. I'll never talk about this again. I talk about it once a year on the channel, once a year. So it's good just to clear out the bigots, and then just clear out the bigots, and then move on. So that's it. So you all know my political stance on things, right? And it's pretty simple. I was talking about making broad generalizations about all... Oh, yes. Well, I'm not. I'm specifically referencing a particular slice of the world here. And that's it, right? I specifically do it. Go ahead, sing it. Look it up. Google it. 130 watching, 199 likes. Fantastic. I hope that anybody that dropped off there was a bigot, and that's good, and they'll never be back. We're coming up now. 3 minutes left in the end of the show. If anybody wants me to take a look at anything particular, then just request it, and I'll be more than happy to do so. I've got a couple of minutes now here where I could actually bring up that picture again from Bad Mama Jam that you put in earlier on as well. That channel down the way. Yep, all the bull flags. This here is the Fibonacci. I probably would prefer just to use that one as the low because it was the most pivotal low, although the most significant low. Although it is. Which chart is this? This is Bitstamp. Interesting, right? So that was then, and that was that one. Actually, let's just go investigate this real quick. BTC USDT. We'll come back and we'll check it at 5:30. how that all ended up and everything else, right? BTC USDT back then on the lows. So this is the Binance chart. I'm just starting off here on the Binance chart first, just to see. So that was a low in there at 28,657. Then over here on Bitstamp, it was 28,000, a couple $100 lower at that point and lower. Then looking over here, this is something I didn't actually do before, seeing that this wick didn't take out that previous wick. So look, this is something that is educational for you, right? And it's interesting to know. This is a highly liquid inverse perpetual inverse swap contract on Bitcoin, right? You don't need to understand what that is. If you do, then cool, you understand what that is. And this is a massive event that happened, which had obviously a big stop hunt going on. Now, this is clear across all the exchanges that there was this big stop hunt. But we see that the prices came down to here on this one, and it's kind of like, where is the liquidity with the moves down, right? Where's the liquidity taking us to? Where did the stop? Where were all the stops pushing it down? All the stops, by the way, a stop is as a condition that you might have on a position that you have. So say you're long on something, you might put a stop in, which means that when the market goes to that price, that your position will be closed. So say that you were long on something and you had a stop. What would that mean? Well, it would mean you would sell what you owe. Okay, so in this area, you got this stop hunt, and you have this low that came in at this region. Then you see the next significant low came in here, and that in this zone there was no trading happened in here. No trading happened in this zone here, right? And furthermore, no trading happened in this zone here. None happened here, right? And these here were all bear traps as well. Bear traps for the downside. Well, these are bull traps as well, right? And then you look over at Bitstamp or another exchange, and you see that the low came here, and that, oops, oh, that was weird. And then the low came here, and that this low here, this pivotal point here in the market that I was talking about before, was indeed the lower low, but in terms of the wick and on particular time frames. So this zone here was where the stops pushed the prices down to, and where traders pushed the prices down to, or it was the low, 28,600. Over here, the low was 28,800. So it was, these correspond, whereas this doesn't. And we know that when the prices went down here, that there wasn't another stop hunt. There wasn't a stop hunt at this point here, or if there was a stop hunt that drove us down, there wasn't the liquidity. And what's that liquidity going to come from? From over leveraged positions, right? That's where you're going to get the maximum amount of the maximum number of individual traders who are being wiped out is going to be from the over leveraged positions, right? And the implication here being then that XBT Bitcoin being traded on BitMEX with their 100x leverage is on a futures contract is showing us where the liquidity existed for the stop hunts at that point. And then we saw the prices going down there, and they didn't go down as low as their previous wick. Then combined with the information across all the other markets where we see that this was the ultimate low here in terms of that region of price, then you get that picture together. I didn't notice that at the time. Had I noticed that at the time, it would have been, the prices would have been back over here or whatever, coming up for that, just coming up for that next chunk. That's where the prices would have just done that. And it would have been very, very, very difficult to make that assertion at the time that that's what was going on. But you could have. Does the replay thing work across charts? I've never actually checked that before. No, it doesn't. So yeah, anyway, that was cool. I'm super glad I went back and checked Bad Mama Jama's picture for that. It wasn't Actually, I mean, I know that was cool. I don't know if anybody watching along thought that was good or not. I don't know. I really don't know. Adam L says, banana fridge, right? Something tells me everyone should buy and hodl GME with hard hands, like rocks. Maybe Lumno. Some sort of precious stone hands. I agree. Yeah, some sort of precious stone. Ruby hands, maybe. I don't know. Jade hands? Don't know. Not jade. I don't know. Anyway, so here we have it. We are 3 minutes past the time of the time that we were timing. So the times happened. So that's good. 1 hour time frame. And it closed at 154.94. 154.97. Is that even, I mean, that's maybe just being too casual looking at it. 155.01. Is that where it closed at? I could actually just look at the fucking high-low. I could normally look at the high-low open-close values up the top there, but I don't like having them on my chart, so I just remove them. They take up too much space for me. Some people do like them. I mean, I've given Eric Crown a shout out today, for instance. He likes them. Jamie likes them. 155.01. Interesting. And it's just an ever so slightly, it just did it. It just did it by the penny. Now we're back down there below 154. Can this ultimately be the wick and us make our way back up there? Can it ultimately happen? Hopefully, but we're back at it again. The opening range for the day was low. It wasn't even an opening range. It was just downward movement. And it wasn't open, whatever. And then this is happening now. This is happening. That tastes so good. Jack, jade is the second hardest stone. The jade fanny. It's the second hardest stone. That's quality. It's the second hardest stone. I didn't know that. Jade then. Yeah, maybe jade hands then. I made me some apple safs and rubies. V Bardos. That's what I thought. Wonder what you're talking about up there. The propaganda and lack of honest civil discussion has particized the sheep. The sheep are not the entirety of our country. No, they're not. They're not the entirety of any. They are not the entirety of our country. They're not the entirety of any country. They're not. They are genuinely not. There's only very small situations where that becomes the case, and it's very easy from to look at things back in a historical point of view and think, things like, ooh, the Nazis were dreadful, etc. And forget that the entire German country was obviously in favor of the Nazis by the time that things were kicking off. Not the entire country, but almost everybody. It's a similar sort of situation over there in Afghanistan at the minute, and Syria, and all these other places. Not Syria, but Yemen and stuff like that. It's awful. Sudan, all these places where it's awful. So anyway, but that's it, right? So anyway, look, there'll be no more political discussion. I've discussed two things today. One, that there won't be any more political discussion from anybody at all in this stream at all, unless there's something that overlaps with trading. And two, my own politics. I've expressed them very, very clearly, right? I've expressed my own politics very, 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 very clearly. So everybody knows where I stand politically. There's no need for a discussion. I'm very comfortable in my political skin. Okay, very, very comfortable in it. Don't need any discussion on it. So, and I'm curious as to other people's, but I'm not curious enough to have people fight in front of me about it. I'm a card holding member of the SNP. Just a final note I'll put on it, by the way. Membership number below 10,000. Rocket Crop, the sheep are just the ones bleating the loudest. Yes, exactly. And tyranny is a leveraged thing as well. Sapphire is very hard. That's cool. Tough and stable mineral for all practical purposes. It is the hardest mineral after diamond, making it the second hardest mineral. Ooh, there is some debate. Interesting. Who wins? Sapphire or jade? Only one way to find out. Fight! Who cares if people get offended? Exactly, man. I'm right there with you. I don't. Because the only people that would be offended by anything that I said are the type of people who I specifically want to go fuck themselves. So, damn it, I'm wrong. Masonite is the second hardest. What the hell? Where are all these different answers coming from? Are there no geologists? We need to get an answer on this one. Hey, buddy. Got a discussion during the live show as to the second hardest mineral, stone. I'm just gonna write stone, right? I'm not gonna. And then it's a sapphire, jade. I've spelt that wrong and jade wrong. Sapphire, jade, jade, or, and what was that last one? What was that last one? What was it? I just read it. Moissanite. Must have spelled it wrong. It's not in the dictionary. Can you solve the riddle? Not riddle. Can you? What am I asking here? I want to know. Which is it? Which is it at the Wooston? There we go. Rock God. He should know the answer. That's Houston Wade. Quite like that guy. He's a friendly guy. I'll ask him, and we'll stick around for a couple of minutes. See if he actually gives me an answer before the end of the day. It would be cool, but I'm going to have to start bringing up. We've got Another Dave coming in here with Masonite as the answer as well. We need to know. We need another collab with Houston Wade. Rocky Outcrop must find the answer. Well, if we need to collab to find the answer, I'm sure we could arrange it. Let's see if that comes back with an answer. I'll bring up the charts here again for a second and just see how AMC closed out its opening hour as well. Popping down there. It did take out that prior technically low at 34.92, 34.69. Here we are, 1 hour time frame down to the 50 simple moving average. It's been fairly it's crappy. Sure it is. We've described this. It's right in that little zone right there. We've got these two areas. There is that tempting looking lagoon, like I said, as well down below. We don't want to be spending time down there, etc., etc., etc. And obviously, in terms of like the 1 hour time frame, this is just building up to be able to go up and up and up and up and up and have the cloud below us should we not take out these numbers. But it does mean that we need to start seeing the prices coming back up again towards these higher numbers, right? But over here in the 4 hour time frame, we have the cloud still up above us, giving us that resistance, looking to try and see if we can attack it in this sort of, up through that area. If we can't, then we can't. And that's just what we're at with that one. Did that work? I just hit a button and I don't know if it worked. I want to open up that thing and I want it to work. Voice mod. I think I needed to open that up for it to work. Spy tanking. Oh, is it at last? Cool. Awesome. Sorry. Not awesome or whatever. No, man, it's the same as before, right? We're still waiting here. It's the same as before. We've taken out our prior lows in this region, but the region to be looking to is this. I mean, it's tanking. It's pumping today. It's down versus yesterday. In these situations, by the way, it's worth pointing out that you'll see wrong information with regards to the accumulation distribution. Not necessarily wrong information, but if you're looking at this indicator here, which is relying on volume with regards to how the price is operating, what it does is it takes the movement of the actual range of the trading for the day itself in isolation. It doesn't actually compare it with the previous day's candles at all in the calculation for the charts, right? It doesn't actually take the previous ones into consideration. It's just that day times that volume added to this thing, which includes then of course added to or subtracted from yesterday's. So you can see here, for example, then as a result, over on the SPY, this is another great lesson, by the way. This is fucking top quality stuff. It's about as good as it gets when it comes to teaching people stuff, I have to say. Anyway, you can see over here in the SPY that that's moved up the way, despite the fact that the price action itself has been operating below yesterday's close for the mass majority of today. So while this is a green candle here and therefore green volume, so to speak, that you get that lie told to you on the accumulation distribution as this continues to go up in the face of what is otherwise negative price action. Therefore, bringing you back around again to remember that price action itself is always king. And with regards to this one, we could totally see a crash, etc. on the SPY. But let's just kind of hold on because we thought it here, we thought it here, we thought it here, we thought it there, we thought it here, we thought it there. Anyway, that's super interesting stuff. That's really good. It's nice to get an example to be able to show people in a way that they can actually properly understand what's going on over there. Super, super, super good. Super great. I'm able to tell people that sort of stuff and educate people about things in such an incredibly valuable experiential, live, transformative way, instead of pissing about telling people theoretical nonsense they'll never use in their lives. So yeah, right, good one, excellent. Overall here, not looking too bad there on the SPY. Obviously it looks dreadful from loads of angles, like, you know, the divergences, etc., but it's not, you know, what can I say? I mean, this bearish divergence that we've clearly got on the go here, and enhanced, if anything, by that misinformation. Now, I don't want to say it's misinformation, but if you're purely looking at this thing in terms of oscillating between highs and lows or whatever, and you're just looking at it going between highs and lows, and that's what you're looking at, then it's misinformation. If you're looking at this from the sort of point of view of, is it divergent or whatever, then you can see that the divergence in this instance is only enhanced by this movement, if anything, you know, rather than it being ignored. So that's something to point out. You can see as well here, we don't have hidden bullish divergence between these last two lows on the MACD. We don't have it on the RSI either. Yes, everybody who's wondering, I massively miss my DMI being on the screen. Yes, I do. I massively miss it all the time. So I'm going to just stick it on for a second here again. But this point here, well, that already happened. We already got that move up and down again. Would have been nice to have had that on the charts over the last couple of days, to have been able to point out that little tiny move was going to happen. Let's go take a look around at a couple of different things just before I tune out as well. GME over here looking okay, I suppose. Chop territory coming in for the cross, so it's not so bad on the small term time frame. Daily time frame have we got here as well at the minute, that cross and the negative land, it's still rubbish. AMC as well, what are we looking at on this one? Coming in there on the negative side of things, but it's still chop territory. It's not got any of that strength of trend with it. Still looking for that to kind of turn itself around. What about the 1 hour on that one as well? Negative cross just there while the ADX is still up. Didn't Rick and Morty's lip it. That beautiful lagoon, you know, the temptation that's right there. If the 50, it's come down as low as the 50 simple as well in this 1 hour time frame. Yeah, it's there. That temptation is there. The best buy is going to be 33.33 if things continue as they are. You know, your edge is there on the markets. If you were wanting to long it from 34.70, you totally could. It makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways, but at the same time, this is telling you to hold out. It's telling you just to hold out for a second here. Longer. Amber's dropping in things. Congrats on quitting, Rocky. I'm a few months in myself. I use Hyde brand disposables, best I've found so far. That's cool. I'll have to Google that. I'm so new to this, Amber, that I'll have to actually look that up and figure it out myself. You know, like where I can buy. I'm so new to this. I don't even know what that is, but that's cool. I got this out of a shop yesterday because I was like, "Ew," and the guy was like, "Me?" And I was like, "Okay then." And you feel overall so much better, says Amber. That's cool. That's awesome. Right. So at 46 minutes past, I think it's probably long past due time for me to wrap this up. How about we go back to space and and bring up the credits then. Everybody, thank you so much for your as ever wonderful contribution to the show today. I'm sorry that I didn't ask enough polls. Did I ask? No, it's a bad poll to see. Like, I should ask a poll before going, just for everybody that's still here as well and all that. I'm going to do the credits, going to do everything else, going to say thank you for tuning in. But I should ask a poll for here. So we can do a couple of quick fire polls just for fun. A couple of quick fire polls. So first off, the poll is going to be, have we seen, now I know I've not given you the answer. It's not like if you were listening, then you know the answer thing. I know this, right? But have we seen the lows on GME for today? Question mark, right? There's our first poll here. and then I can kind of, bring up credits and stuff like that or whatever. I know I've not asked a good enough set of I wanted to ask more polls and I completely forgot about it. Lol Rocky says, Adam Eld, hearts, diamond, hands, and then you got yourself a ban for it. Oh well, Streamlabs, she's a bit mean. Nobody likes you. Yeah, Streamlabs, nobody likes you. I know, it's so annoying. So, what do you think? Yes, wow, immediate. The first people to answer that wanted to answer that, were super positive. Boom, down to 55. The more prudent ones amongst you taking a couple of seconds. No judgments here. I don't see what you answer, by the way. It's completely anonymous polls. You can just chuck in whatever answer you like. 50-50. Ooh, 50-50. 50-50 on that one as well. It's a good question. It's a good question. Are we there or not? I feel like 50-50 is a nice way. I'm going to say yes, right? Me personally, I'm going to say yes, right? But I feel like 50-50 is the way to say it, right? I think that's totally fair. And I'm only saying yes right here, right now, on the basis that we're within 50 cents of it being above on 55. That's my basis for saying yes, that we could see it going back up there. 154.94, we're, that sort of thing. We're so close to it. So I'm willing to say the candle just flicked green as well. So I'm there with the yeses, but I totally get it in terms of the whole 50-50 nature of that one. That was an interesting poll. Thanks everybody for taking part. And I'm just going to end it there on 50-50. We don't have it leaning one way or another. Okay, and then what are we going to do here as well? What shall we do? Actually, let's just do this one instead, right? I don't have a poll question. I should maybe, make up a thing, figure out some way of coming up with polls beforehand, using my brain perhaps or something. Have you had a good time? Is this one. Have you had a good time? So thanks so much to everybody for joining me. I'm just going to ask you if you've had a good time. Let me know. Feel free to say no, by the way. I did a lot of political discussion during the show today. Feel free to say no. It doesn't have to be 100%. Just let me know what do you think. Or did the poll not work? I thought I did that. I'll just do it again. Oh, it has. It's up there. Yeah, right, cool, sweet. Thank you. I appreciate the honesty. It's good to know. But 80-20 rule, I think we're doing okay if we stick around that sort of levels. Thank you so much for that, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Okay, cool. So I'm going to bring up the credits. The candle's flicking between red and green all the time there on that one. It goes red when it's right next to 155. Green when it's 155. Red when it's below 154.95 sort of thing. It's just like that's what's going on with the price action over there. I'm looking over here for my credits doodah. Yeah, right, okay. That bad mama jamma comes up there. I've missed donations again. Sugar. Thank you for the donations. Thanks for what you do. If you could sell AMC, you should buy GME, not financial advice. But if you sell AMC, you should buy GME, not financial advice. It says, Jaime might Berikov Spades. Jamie might be... Whoa. Jamie might be Rick of Spades. Who said, ooh, that's a funny username. He isn't. I know he isn't. Thanks for the $5, man. Really do appreciate it. Grady has been a member for 2 months now. Thank you so much, Grady. Really do appreciate it. The comments that you put out there for me are always pretty supportive, and I really do appreciate it. As well, we got $4.99 earlier on. Drug pins take losses, so do Doomslayers do a line. Jeepers. We got a subscriber as well during the show. Thanks so much for Shakar for choosing to come back here at some point. Paul B chucked me a $5. Good morning, Rocky. You're doing a fantabulous job. Love that word, fantabulous. Love it. It's quality. Algo earlier on. A lot of people are excited tomorrow because of a certain DD. Can you give your opinion on it? A lot of people are excited tomorrow because of a certain DD. Can you give us your opinion on it? Don't know the certain DD, man. I'll give you my opinions in the Discord, though. I'll give my opinions on the Discord. In the Discord, I'll go there and look at that later on and give my opinions for it. Quick look at BB and AHT. I did that earlier on, so cool. I feel like I've covered that basis. And be sure to let me know what you think about what we should do with the Bad Mama Jamma donation that came in. Whether that should go towards to people who I can specifically reference, somebody in need that we can help support as a member of the community. That would be really lovely. Or if you think that that's maybe too personal and shouldn't be spoken about in that way, or whatever, or you couldn't necessarily know. Maybe people are just asking for money, or whatever, and they've got plenty, and I should give it to somebody myself or a charity that I think is I should give it. Maybe I should just give the money to charity myself, or to give it to somebody who's in my own life that needs money. Maybe I should do that. I don't know, but I want you to let me know, because this is an incredibly generous gesture from Bad Mama Jamma, and I'm going to follow it through. It doesn't count as earnings in my head. It's going to be funny figuring out the tax thing on that. Technically, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, technically, I think maybe I can only give away 70% of that, and 30% of it might have to go as tax because it's earnings. I'm not too sure, right? I just don't know. If anybody that does know that rule with regards to that, I don't know. I mean, it's like basically he just handed the money into my hand and I'm handing it on to somebody else. It's not income for me. It never was. And I wouldn't consider it that way. But it went through my account. So in that sense, I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much to everybody then for doing the super chats. Bad Mama Jamma, Justin Osserman, Algo, Paul B, John G, Amber, and then to the guys that did the membership stuff here today, Grady D, Penny P. I don't know if that's just because it's like renewed, and whatever, and it comes up Streamlabs telling me. Not sure, but it's always really great. Thank you for becoming an early supporter as well, Penny P. You're new though, I see that. Penny P, lovely name. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the Discord and all that good stuff. The current prices for GME, by the way, just as we're closing up the show here, sitting at 155.60 would be really good, like we say, like we kind of discussed, for that to be the low of the day, like we were saying. AMC's current prices are 34.96. Again, yes, would be very good for that to be the low of the day. That tempting looking lagoon, wanting to go down there, but so long as we can stay above 34.87 on a closing basis, then we're doing pretty darn good. Bitcoin prices at the minute are, just reading them out, I know you can't see the charts, I'm reading out prices for you just so you got a number. 45,263, cool. So we have ridden it up the way towards these highs. Remember folks, 45,900 being that next target where you'd be looking to take profit at if you are trading in around these regions. And then continuing on and just taking a look at a couple extra things. Ethereum, for example, is sat there currently at $3,040, so it's doing okay. It's regained 3,000. That's good. That could be the bounce for us, by the way, folks. That could be the bounce. Bitcoin dominance chart, by the way, still Bitcoin 44%. Of the market value is Bitcoin. Link at 25, finding its feet hopefully here at 25. It has dropped as low as 24 again. The low for me, the pivot, by the way, if you're trading Link, 24.60 at the minute for me being my pivot point would be about right, $24. Tezos, by the way, is in at 346. It did do more or less what we were talking about when we were trading this thing recently. The highs in there at 350. Pulled back down the way. This is more or less exactly how we've been chatting there over the short-term period. In terms of the longer period, looking back the last couple of days, it actually did go up to that other target we had of 380. I mean, it's pretty insane, the accuracy. I don't think I've ever been wrong. I've done at least 400 videos on I've done analysis on Tezos at least 400 times. I don't think I've ever been wrong. And you know what? I don't think I've ever been wrong about Chainlink. I've been wrong about Ethereum 3 or 4 times. I've been wrong about Bitcoin 2. I'm not sure if I've ever been wrong about Bitcoin in the analysis I've done. I'm not sure. I think it'd be fair. I must have been, but off the top of my head, I can't remember. But I know when it comes to Tezos, I've never been wrong. And that continues, which is nice, right? Because there will come a time. I used to talk about this back in January 2020 when I started, and then February, and then March. And then I talked about it a little bit less, but with a lot more feeling come April and May and June. And then I stopped talking about it around about July, August, or whatever, apart from 2 close friends like Peter, Tony, Jamie, Nav and Ethan. But then I've not talked about this for a long time, but it's a real thing for me. I think to myself, when am I going to be catastrophically wrong? When am I going to be catastrophically wrong? When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? And that, I don't know. It's not happened yet. Probably, maybe, never will. Thank you for everybody for taking part in today's show. I really do appreciate you all. I just hit no on that poll by accident. Whoops. The 92% of people that tuned in today had a really good time. Thank you for the 74 votes. It's really good to know. I really do appreciate all of you. Thanks for joining me in the chat here. Thanks for everything. I think I made a clip earlier. Can't really remember. Not really sure what happened. I think I did. I'll publish that if I did. And from me, it's cheerio. I'll see you again in the next show. Thanks very much for being a part of everything that we do here and enjoying the magic. Was it a bit of fun? It did take me a long time to set that up. I had to debug it and everything. It's pure me. I'm the only one that can do this in the world. It's so good. I'm the only one that can do that. Yeah. Nice. Right. Oh, Horn Hunter. Hey! Horn Hunter! Right, before we go, last second here, before we go, so this is the Hunter of the Horn is a person dedicated to finding the Horn of Valere. That is Horn Hunter over there. And you just, prancing silver hoofs and proud arched necks. Silken manes flutter with tossed heads. 1,000 streaming banners whip rainbows against an endless sky. 100 brazen-throated trumpets shiver in the air, and drums rattle like thunder. Wave on wave, cheers roll from the watchers in their thousands, roll across the rooftops and the towers of Ilion, crash and break unheard around the 1,000 ears of riders whose eyes and hearts shine with their sacred quest. The great hunt of the Horn rides forth, rise to seek the Horn of Valere, that will summon the heroes from the ages back from the grave to battle for their light. Thanks very much, Tom Merlin. Thanks for becoming an early supporter, my friend. Thanks for becoming for everything. Thanks to everybody for being a part of this show. I'll catch you next time. All my favorite colors, my sisters and my brothers.
Woke up to the moon sky first. Baby blue just like reverse. When I get up off this ground, shake the leaves back down to the brown, 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 brown. So I'm in. And I walk where I be shaded by the trees, back a meadow tree, for about a mile. I was headed to town in style. All my favorite colors, I got all my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers, see them like no others. All my favorite colors. A good day for me, a good day to see, a good day to be my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers, see them like no others. All my favorite Take me to the other side.
You sound so good, Ronaldo.
Little bitty bluebirds fly. Gray clouds, white walls, blue skies. We're gonna fly and feel alright. Yeah. It feels like ooh, 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 ooh. I said it sounds like ooh, 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 yeah, yeah. At least I can say I anticipate a homecoming parade as we renegade in the morning with all my favorite colors. I got all my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers see them like no others. All my favorite colors. A good day for me, a good day to see, a good day to be my favorite colors. Yeah, my sisters and my brothers see them like no others. All my favorite colors. Take me to the other side. A little bitty bluebirds fly. Big clouds, white walls, blue skies. We gon' fly and feel alright. Yeah. And we gonna ooh, 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 yeah, yeah. It sounds like ooh, 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 yeah, yeah. At least I can say I anticipate a homecoming parade as we renegade in the morning. With all my favorite colors. I got all my favorite colors. Just mine. My sisters and my brothers see them like no others. All my favorite colors. Yeah. A good day for me, a good day to see, a good day to be my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers see them like no others. All my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers, they see them like no other. Oh, my favorite
Fuck yes.
for the family.
Fuck yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.